My goal was just place in top 5, you know. It'd be a dream come true. And I remember they called, like 5th and 6th, and I'm still standing there, and they called 4th, and I'm like, oh, shucks, I'm doing pretty good. Then they got down to 3rd, and I'm still standing there. I'm like, whoa, I ain't never had this happen before.
One of these men goes home with a second place $50,000 check. The other man goes home with the 10th Mr. Olympia contest title in 2nd place.
I've always worked out, even when I started when I was like 12, 13 years old. So I was always wanting to work out, even, when I was going to college. And after college, I was able to work out a little bit more. I'd go at least about 5 days a week.
In 1990, Ronnie competed in his first show, Mr. Texas.
And my first show that Brian took me to was called Mr. Texas. I went in, won first in overall, and I'm like, whoa. And then the second show I went to, I won first in overall in that one too. So like the first 4 or 5 shows I went to, I got first in overall in all of them, and I'm like, okay. So that same year, I went to the Nationals because I qualified. I think at the qualifying show, it was a little bit tougher than just regular local shows and stuff. First and second qualify you for Nationals. So I went to Nationals my first year and got 3rd. So I did pretty good my first year in the sport. So my second year in the sport, I went back to Nationals, and it was a little bit tougher. The first place guy couldn't pass the drug test. So the second place guy couldn't pass the drug test. The third place guy couldn't pass the drug test. So I was 4th, so I went over and I took the test, and I went over and took the test, I passed it, and got selected to the what they call universe team. My first year in the sport was 90. 91 is when I won the universe. So 92 is when I did my first pro show.
In 1992, Ronnie went to his first Mr. Olympia, but he was dead last.
And I went to Chicago pro show. I ended up in I think I got 11th, 12th, somewhere in there. Then I went to the Night of Champions, which was in New York that year, and I ended up in 14, 15, somewhere in there. And since I was qualified for the Olympia, I went to the Mr. Olympia, and it was in Helsinki that year, and Helsinki, Finland. Doing Yates won that one, and I had a lot of fun, but I didn't even get a call out, So that's automatically dead last. Right. In 1993, when I competed, I think the highest I placed in my second year was 6th or 7th, somewhere in there. So I didn't even qualify for the Olympia in 93. So 94 came around, and I did pretty good in 94.
After 4 years of competing, in Mr. Olympia 1994, Ronnie finally got a call out. He was 15th place in that show.
94 I qualified for the Olympia by placing 3rd in a show in Paris. I placed 3rd in a show in Germany. So I went to the Olympia in 94 and placed, I got called out. I placed down at the bottom, 15, 16, somewhere in there. Qualified for the Olympia again in 95.
In Mr. Olympia 1995, Ronnie placed 11th.
So I went to Olympia that year, and I think I placed 11th, somewhere in there, 12th, somewhere in there. 96 rolled around, and
Ronnie placed top 10 for the first time. He placed 7th.
In 96 I did pretty good in the Olympia. I ended up in 7th place in the Olympia that year.
In 7th place. Number 14, Ronnie Coleman.
So things were getting better and better every year. 97 rolls around, you know. That year at the Olympia, I got 9th.
In this point, Ronnie has already competed for 6 years, but he didn't even place in top 5. Ronnie felt like giving up for many times, but he didn't give up.
The show before the Arnold was the Ironman, and I ended up in like third place, I think. And, but the guy who won the show was Lee Priest. I'm like, man. I remember going after the prejudge. I went back to my room. I like, I'm done with this bodybuilding stuff. they let guys like Lee Priest beat me. Huh?
Finally, that historical year came. In 1998, Ronnie won the Mr. Olympia title, and no one was able to beat him again for 8 years.
And I remember going to the Olympia. They said, Dorian ain't competing this year, so the Olympia is wide open. And I remember going into the show and being compared to Flex and Kevin and, you know, those guys that I had already won. And a couple of times they had put me in the middle, and I'm like, oh, I'm doing pretty good here. They put me in the middle, comparing me to the big dogs of the sport. And I can remember after prejudging was over, Joe Wood came backstage. They're like, man, you look really good. You think I got a chance to win this show? He's like, yeah, I think you can win this. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't think so. And I remember they called, you know, like 5th and 6th, and I'm still standing there, and they called 4th. I'm like, oh, shucks, I'm doing pretty good. And they got down to 3rd, and I'm still standing there. I'm like, whoa, I ain't never had this happen before. So, and then I can remember me and Flex standing there, and they were down to 1st and 2nd. I'm like, wow. I was truly blown away. And then Wayne, when he called out 2nd place, he waited for a long time before he said Flex's name, you know, and it just totally caught me off guard and just kind of like blew my mind. And I remember hitting the floor, you know, because I was like, man, I was in shock for the most part. And I couldn't believe they called his name 2nd for 2nd place. And I don't remember anything that happened from the time they called 2nd. Yeah, I ended up in 1st, and of course, you know, the rest is pretty much history after that.